Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the exciting and ever-taking amazing Propagandacast with your host and Pearl Dane, the one, the only Master Propaganda here of Psych Defender of the Fatherland of here to 1v1 on Twin Beaches. In the south is TR Ender, fighting here for America, Freedom, Democracy here with the 3rd Infantry and Special Operations. And a very rapid M29 Wiesel. In the north it is Zyswen fighting here for the German army. Deutschland, the Deutsche Corps here with Italian combined arms. Big surprise at this moment. In the metagame, here rolling out with the 3rd Panzerdivision assisted by the 8th Bersaglieri Regiment. And right off here with some fast Bersaglieri from him. We got the Panzerbening southwards. We got the Weasel there rushing force as well here. Very much the meta battle group at the moment, and I very much anticipate that to hopefully get nerfed here next week. So, hopefully. Bersaglieri heading westwards here. It looks like he's just relying fully on the Bersaglieri. Most players will typically mix in maybe a bike or some Panzerpuni here, so they don't have to deal with the cooldowns. But clearly, Zyswen does not care about such matters. He just wants his Bersaglieri with their really funny hats. Well, basically just pith helmets with a feather in the cap. And nope, the Bersaglieri always wore. In fact, I think the units still wear a feather in, their helmets and caps there. So, fun fact. Grab these some fuel point here. As always, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters who support the Propagandacast and its glorious effort. Without them and their contributions, the Propagandacast would certainly not be possible. So, a big hearty thanks to them. Right, Scotland forwards here. Scouts moving forwards here, Weasel rushing forwards, getting up good here with a 30 cal. First shots fired around the centre, second shots fired up north. Bersaglieri clashing with American infantry here. Carcano rifle versus M1 Grants. Up close here, the riflemen should have a good shot here versus the Bersaglieri. North here, Bersaglieri pushing on the northern fuel point. Bersaglieri here taking losses. And a 3rd Bersaglieri squad out here for Zyswen. Got the Weasel upgraded. Scouts joining in and conceding the northern fuel point for now here. Tuamsig and win the engagement in the south. Then turn on the Bersaglieri north here. That was a very smart decision by end of some players, but just kept trying to fight both engagements, as we can see here with Zyswen in fact. But Ender here, of course, realized that he won the southern engagement first and then quickly win the northern engagement. So, quick bit of sharp tactical prowess here by Ender. Quickly turn the tables there on Zyswen. More Bersaglieri rushing in there. And as soon I imagine he sees them, he just disengages again. He could fight that engagement, but he'd rather, more comfortably with another. We also got a bit of self-healing or healing here from the M29 Weasel, but that is quickly disrupted. It takes a lot of damage all of a sudden. Gets some really lucky shots there from the Bersaglieri. And as all this is happening in the south, the Panzerpuni have successfully hit the southern field points. So here, Ender kind of gets sucked into the center, allowing Zyswen to get control of the southern fuel. The Ralph squad definitely needs to assist the engagement here, or this is going to turn really bad for Ender very fast. Could go here for a 4th Bersaglieri squad. That wouldn't be a bad idea. The most players so far I find just tend to go for 3 of them. Looks like the Weasel got rushed southwards here, but almost going to get knocked out. We also got some mines here from Zyswen there. M29 and Weasel there trying to get away here, and it's not going to happen. There we go. Excellent kill here for Zyswen and the 3rd Panzerdivision there. Huge blow here. We also got an attempt to sort of sneak around Zyswen here. And despite some initial success that tactically he seems to be realizing he's caught in actually a bad position, and he's now actually sort of making it worse. Obviously not intentionally, but the way he's making his decisions at the moment very much benefits Zyswen more than it benefits him. And now suddenly there's a rival squad isolated up north here. There's another squad here. So not looking great here. Southern fuel has fallen here to the German army as well here. Well, German-Italian army. Rival squad here going for the Bersaglieri. Rival squad being swarmed by the 2 Bersaglieri squads here. Carcano's just firing away there violently at the rifleman here. And here, more fighting continuing on here. Can Ender win this engagement before the rest of the Bersaglieri come down from the hill here, or will the rifleman be forced back as well here? So far, just win after win, and there you go, we got bolsters as well here for Zyswen, and we also got the tech here. We got the light support company up here, ambulances, machine gun teams, and assault gun units immediately able to call in. He could also just tech up. We'll have to see what exactly here Zyswen decides to do. More mines here being laid down. We got the scouts moving straight into the mine. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Found a mine, sir. God damn it, Carl. You idiot. Ambulance there on the way for Zyswen, obviously a good idea. Then, particularly once you got built to 6-man best Yeti squads, you definitely want them to get healed. Got the infant support center up there. North 8 points being grabbed here by the Yeti. Honestly, it would make a lot of sense, I think, for some cases, retreat these units here for reinforcement and healing. Crucially, yep, there we go, so they don't, like, you know, get committed against, you know, better static Rav Squad team. We got the captain as well now here for Ender. So things are heating up a bit here. Ambulance at the ready. Bolstered Basic Yeti squads getting reinforced, healed. Ready for the next big push. Mechanized company as well. Fast Oxide, of course, could be an absolute nightmare here for Ender to deal with. It certainly is very meta, so definitely something he should definitely be ready for. I mean, he has gone for special operations, so SSR commandos likely going to happen. Of course, those can very well deal with it. Particularly get 2 squads on that. Of course, still maybe some Chaffies. I mean, Greyhounds could also be a good addition here. We got the best Yeti there holding up here. 1 squad versus 2 Rav squads. And suddenly, again, we can see there, Ender is back on the field. He's grabbing points. He's seizing terrain for freedom. More best Yeti moving from the north. We got Flammenwerfers on the way for the Panzer Pioneer. Finding also on the hill here. But the major engagement is here in the south. Punching to flank here. The Rav squad on the fuel point. Very good here. North here, fighting continues there. We got camping rushed in to assist the northern Rav squad here. Grenades off there from the Bessieria, the Auto Modello 35. Bessieria there, fighting us the Rav squad up north. We got Port Onum here. This backed up at the captain. Yeah, it's gonna be a problem here. We got a mechanized assault group out here though for Zyswen. 250 half-tech filled with MP40 wielding assault grenadiers. And there we go. We see a SSF commander squad there out for Ender, a combined Canadian-American Special Operations unit. Fun fact there. Graham Sun point with the Sturm Pioneer. Of course, the Americans later established then there'll be the Rangers, though the Rangers ironically would end up being used more like light assault infantry. Well, light infantry, which kind of falls in the assault role there a lot more than they'd actually use as special operations units. So, fun fact there. Grams on the field point again here. Got here Zyswen with the momentum for Il Duce. And there you go. We also got the Breda Modello 30 here. Or Model 30, obviously. Chatfanger at the advancing Rav squad here. BARs, of course, would eventually also be a good upgrade here for Ender here versus Zyswen. So he was going to go on for this one. He can like make it a lot cheaper. So we'll never see what happens here. But there you go. Grenades from the Rav squad there, killing Bob. But the best yeah, they are losing men. I think more rapid facer. They're simply outnumbered here by Ender's Riflemen. Up north here we got the Scouts versus the Assault Grenadiers here. Assault squad there. Oh, Commanders actually got pushed back here, trying to take out the 250 half-track. They ignored the Assault Grenadiers, and the Assaults were obviously very much in favor of the Assault Grenadiers and their MP40s. Do not underestimate the MP40 wielding troops. They do pack a punch, in particular with combined arms. The Assault Grenadiers here really hurt, and then go for tactical assault. They can really hurt infantry. But yeah, rushing from the north here, catching the Rav squad here by the munitions point there. And wow, this is actually a bit rare and certainly not quite meta game there. He's actually rushing straight ahead for the Panzer Army command here versus Ender. Partly might of course be he's not under pressure like from Pathfinders and Paradox with an M16, so he may feel like he can get away with that, but typically most DAK players at the moment, you know, if in particular they go for tank combined arms, you know, just rely heavily on the M1340s and just, you know, skip the Panther 3s. So it's nice to see some differences there. But we got the Commanders here with the Assault Grenadiers. This time, though, the Assault Grenadiers on absolutely rubbish position. There we go. 3 men dead in the dirt. Excellent kills there with their Johnson light machine guns. Grabbing the southern fuel point here back. Also going for the car point. Got pressure here by Zyswen here versus Ender. Got the fuel pump exist here. We got the mechanized assault move this time with the flamethrower squad. Panzer Army command ready. Could push for a Panther 3 relatively soon. Not entirely sure about the situation resource-wise here though for Ender. But, you know, pushing for Shermans might be a very good idea soon. Of course, he may also just go for more commandos and just initially just rely on the bazookas to hold any German panzers at bay. So, Ender once more back in a awkward position. We got to push up here for the lighthouse there with the Rifle Squad. North here, we got to push it. Command spot here by Zyswen's men, and it results in a pretty brutal retreat here with several men finding their trousers on fire. Far up north here, scouts popping up behind here to the little bathing pier there, whatever. Up north here, Rifle Squad found down the Bessieri, but there you go. He charges in there. Zyswen wants the lighthouse here away from the Americans. We got pulled on. There you go. Grenade off here. And there you go. It looks like they're going to rush into the lighthouse, try and save themselves. Meanwhile, more infantry pouring in here from Ender. 250 after rushing in, and suddenly the reinforcements from the men beleaguered in the lighthouse are halted up. In fact, there you go. Damage in. We got grenade research here for Ender. And he's actually gone for sprint here, which is actually a bit surprising. I mean, most American players at the moment just go hard for port on him because it's really, really good, especially with BA upgrades, but even without it, it's a very good ability. So it's a bit interesting to see someone, you know, go for the sprint. Ralph Squad push for the Bessieri here. More grenades here, this time on the Italians. Men dying at a pretty rapid pace here. We got the commands coming up as well here. Grenades back on the Americans. More men dying. The stairs are steeped with blood. We got the other Bessieri being pushed out. Ralph Squad finally routed here from the premises. Panther 3 there for Zyswen. Pretty fast one there. A well-paced one here. So, I mean, obviously you can rush out Panther 3 if you're really determined. And clearly, Zyswen was really determined. Thumbs up to that. Got the assault guns being for the carp one again. Just Ender's resource being harassed. Guessing he's nowhere closer to a Sherman or even M18 Hellcat here. Scouts clutching the Panzer Pioneer here, tripping, forcing healing. At this rate, he's never going to have to go for more commanders. In fact, oh, he does have a second commander squad out here, so that is the second one here. And then the assault gun is now getting focused down here by Ender's men. They are rapidly forced off, or well, ended. Might be better to pull back these Bessieri for some healing, like the squad is like less than half health. Several of the men are ready to just drop dead at the slightest sight of an American. But now Zyswen has his Panzer IV ready, the Model L. Adding the Pinlock machine gun there as well. Very good addition there. Captain out in the... Oh, commanders out in the open there. There's the bazookas, though. They do get a bit of light cover there, so they should be at least mildly protected here. Should definitely get some infantry to support the Panther III here. Panther III ends up taking, I feel like, a lot of needless damage. Again, had the infantry just better at supporting the tank. I think that has been a much more swiftly one engaged. Up north here, ended with another breakthrough push here. Northern flank here of the 3rd Panzergrenadier Division is routed.
A strategic point is being taken from us.
Not much here. I mean, you could go for the Semoventen and the Caromatos, but the strafing runs if you really wanted to. Ralph Squad here was the Bessieri. Grenades there being chucked at the Yankees, who quickly dodge out of the way there. Panther 3 being hauled back for repairs. If we can find it, there we go. I'd also not be surprised to end up getting some emergency repair kits. Oh, he's already got that, actually. Oh, yeah, pretty much a standard upgrade at the moment. Partly because the self-repairs is really good, but it also provides your tanks with more, you know, health. So it's a really, really good upgrade. And honestly, one I'd expect at some point in the future to get nerfed. Ground Southern Point here. Things get a bit more heated up now here between Ender and Zyswen. Panzerkampfwagen 3 als Verjüngung forwards, and Panther 3 will actually service in Italy as well, not just North Africa. Though by Italy, most of them would have been the Model M's and the Model N's. The Model M bar was just basically a Panther 3L, but with more frontal armor and some armored side skirts. And the Model N, roughly the same, but with a 75mm a gun, low velocity. Commanders are spotted though quickly routed here as the armored fists of Das Vaterland strike at them. A pair of bazookas are nothing in the face of assault grenadiers backed up by a Panther IV there. Straight on for the cop one again. Starting to keep the pressure here in the south. The Bessieri are being mauled here by the commanders. The Johnson light machine guns doing a lot of work there, but in the end, so did the grenade right in their faces. And soon here, Zyswen go for another Panther 3. That would obviously be very good.
What do you need?
But so far, no sign of additional Panther 3s. Got some momentum. We got the strafing run, so clearly he is not gonna go for Italian tanks. So the question is, what is he planning if not more Panther 3s? Half take here, about to get knocked out here as Ender launches a furious commando assault here. Smoke deployed here by the assault grenadiers, but he could just, of course, chuck a grenade. There you go. He chucks in some spicy smoke, aka white phosphorus. At which point they're very much forced to get out, I think. Got the Bersaglieri here as the scouts up north. We got the Panther 3 setting out again. Round scorch out Bersaglieri here, and oh, he actually is going for the armored reserves. Crikey. Looks like his Zyswen is going to push for some call-ins of the higher order. The question, of course, is will he try and go straight for the Tiger tank, or will at least show some restraint at first, go for Panther 4, the Stug assault group. We'll have to see here what Zyswen is intending there, but there's definitely some risks involved if trying to go for the Tiger tank like that. Also got an anything out here, I believe, from an airdrop there, alongside a 30 cal, so that also gives us more fuel. Ender, though, really needs to take up here. But again, fuel ration from Zyswen has just been so strong, that's obviously very difficult. This is also why it's a bit odd here that it just goes for like one Panzer 3 and then moves straight ahead. So I hope it's not the Tiger tank, because while like going for a Panther 4 right now, Stug assault group could actually, I think, very powerful to like really exploit his advantage. I think a Tiger tank would just risk too much time being spent building up sufficient resources that actually allow Ender to build up enough forces to, like, hit back at a Tiger tank. Whereas again, I think with either Stug assault group or the Panther 4 assault group, there'd just be like, enough pressure there to like make sure that doesn't happen. But we'll see. Just my thoughts anyways. Again, not saying that because the Tiger tank incumbency is bad, I think it's quite good. But even quite good units, still need to be supported by other units. As again, the risk for like, just stalling forward if you don't have enough good forces ahead of time. But anyways, assault was in there. Being got tactical assault, 2 thumbs up. Very good ability, particularly if it's combined with combined arms. They're going to the Panther 3 here. It's Panther PM support here. We got the Bersaglieri supporting here. Fierce fighting in the beaches. Blood. And there go another push with the car point here. Striking again here, but there you go. Suppressive fire as well going off here. And the Bersaglieri are routed. The 30 cal here, proven, of course, to be an excellent tool in the service of freedom and democracy. And being pushed back ahead again. Gone for artillery cover, which is, I think, easily the worst artillery ability in the game at the moment. So, Sultans are being force healed up. Close to Vets need 2. Another push for the car point. Again, just good, consistent fuel ration. But this time, of course, the 30 cal is going to improve into an issue here for him. The Panther 3 should be able to fix that. But the anti-tank gun should be able to deal with the Panther 3. Unless, of course, the Panther 3 brushes down the anti-tank gun first, maybe. As he is, they're suppressed. Probably should retreat them and pull back the Panther 3 here. Also got units in the south. Captaining forwards. And there we go. We do also get the tank depot finally going up here for Ender. That's good news for Ender and his men. In fact, not only does he have it up, he's got a Sherman out here, the M4A1 Sherman medium tank. Panther 3 very rapidly falling back. Yeah, it does appear like he's, going to rely on these call-ins. The question again is, will it be something like this, or will it be going straight for the Tiger tank first? The fact he's suddenly he's going for an upgrade here. He's going for tungsten rounds and rapid advance. So yeah, he's definitely planning at a Tiger tank then, because that's 450 manpower, which otherwise could have been like into like a Panther 4 assault group or Stug assault group. Now, I'm also gonna be honest, like, I don't think rapid advance is bad. It's one you really want if you got like more than one tank. Otherwise, it's really not that impressive. That's, It's like, even he's like going for the Tiger tank, I still think he shouldn't be going for this one because there's still like, you know, 250 manpower could still be closer to the Tiger tank. So this one feels a bit much with just, again, a single Panzer III. Tungsten rounds, though, is just very good. You know, even with a single tank, it's just very, very good. There's nothing wrong in that one, but I do think rapid advance under current circumstances isn't quite as practical as you'd like it to be. Up north here, the commanders, Ralph Squad finding out with the Bessieri. More and more being upgraded with additional Breda here. Light machine guns blowing across here. We got grenades off here. Catching the antenna, got 30 cal there, being quickly repositioned here with the Bessieri here. Bessieri being absolutely put out in the open. He's actually close to the Tiger tank in terms of fuel, but again, because he went for rapid advance, he's not quite close there as manpower-wise as he'd like to be. Chummering about here for him. Also like to note, no BARs at all here for Ender, which is also a bit of a surprise to me. The BA upgrade is really, really good. And obviously, you know, getting us some Hellcats is going to be a really good idea. But at some point, you know, having some BAs up would also just mean like Zyswen's infantry would bleed so much harder. That said, Ender's likely not anticipating that Zyswen's going for the Tiger tank because most DAK players just don't bother with the Tiger tank at the moment. And again, not because it's bad, but because the amount of resources you have to put into it typically tends to be, you know, just not as worth it as just going for a lot of Panzer IIIs. Or M1340s, which is like even more common at the moment. So that is something worth keeping in mind there. Got the Panzer through the Graham territory. Need to retreat the soldiers. I mean, this is just a really bad engagement for Zyswen. Like, he's just wasting manpower, which becomes even more odd when you consider like how close he is to the Tiger tank. That's really where you do not want to be like wasting manpower, if anything. He's always setting up his stall for it. But again, like, imagine he hadn't gone for rapid advance. See, he could easily have the Tiger tank out by now. Instead, now there's, in fact, even a bit before that. Now we got the Hellcat out here. Maybe that's going to be BRs then for Ender as well. We'll see. Very close to that Tiger tank. We're talking 100 manpower to go. Shum going forward. Hellcat moving in as well there. Panzer getting hit by the Sherman. Yeah, now the Panzer III is really in a bad spot here. We got the M10 rushing in using, I think, flanking speed here, so the Panzer III has no way of escaping here. Again, he's got no support here. So that's going to be an easy kill here for Ender. Huge blow to Zyswen. Of course, he does have his Tiger tank out now. There you go. 504th Schwere Panzerabteilung. Sending in the Tiger, adding the Penlight Maschinengewehr as well. Very good. There we go, rushing forward for that one. And of course, Tiger tank with self-repair and increased speed, tungsten rounds. Obviously, quite good, but I do think vehicle capture in the Tiger tank is also a bit redundant. First shot fire there, and poor Robert there got absolutely annihilated there by the Tiger tank. Second shot, the whiffs badly. M18 Hellcat does not whiff and punches straight for the Tiger tank's armor. Of course, all the infantry just forced to reinforce, wait to reinforce. Again, now he's just got the Tiger tank and nothing else in the field. So we can sort of see here that strategically for Zyswen, several gaps are appearing in the strategy for him.
Enemy forces have captured a victory point.
Good shot on the Ralph squad here. Hellcat shoots, misses the Tiger tank this time around. Very lucky there for Zyswen. I would certainly recommend though getting the Tiger tank into the fight here. Smoke grenade down there, not a bad idea either. Going for the Sherman first, this is more heavily damaged. As long as he might make more sense to go for the Hellcat, get the assault to attack the anti-tank on head on. Going for the grenade assault. I honestly think she's just got even close and then just use tactical assault here rather than try to grenade assault it. Strafing on off here, pulling back the Tiger tank here. Zyswen here clearly got too concerned, and so you also can see the other issue with the kind of like the way he's executed strategy just means like, you know, he cannot afford like to really risk the Tiger tank. at which point the Tiger tank's overall value drops even further. And again, it's not the Tiger tank as bad as you can see, that did a ton of damage. But when it's like, you know, you kind of like sunk everything into it, and you did in such a many opponent can easily just bring up lots of counters to it in the meanwhile, like for example, another Hellcat. Suddenly, again, like, you know, you really find yourself in a bad spot. And sometimes you can actually use the Tiger tank, so... This very much like, you know, feels like Company's 2 Tiger tank, except again, better, but just strategically, he's very much committed a lot of the same errors like Company's 2 players would do when going for the Tiger tank.
Enemy forces hold all victory points, Commandant.
Because again, he's clearly worried about using it, you know, just losing it right away, which causes him to then use it very passively, which means it just collects dust. And again, he just spent 800 manpower and 80 fuel on, like, you know, a very expensive Lord Ornament then. Not hyper efficient. He's also bleeding out more victory points than in the face of Ender, who still hasn't gone for any BARs. Small unit dispatched here, but here. Hellcat going for the flank of the Titan. Great shot here. Commanders then engaged frontally. Flanking speed again. Very good here. Titan shoots and again just tears off like 1/3 of the health total. Like, the Tiger tank really packs a punch. Make no mistake. There we go. Another shot there, and it's down to, well, less than, like, you know, almost like a 1/6 of the health total. Got the second Hellcat moving in. Almost got the Tiger tank here. Should actually push forwards, I suppose. But again, in the end, it's too heavily damaged. The overall support is not there either. It's all back at base, so once more. Again, Zyswen's strategy just continues to bite him in the posterior. At this stage, I think his best bet will actually go for some Martyrs to help with these Hellcats. Like, some Martyrs here I think would be an excellent choice for Zyswen. They're very cheap, cost effective, and of course, we just run him some raw firepower against the Hellcats. So that's something to consider there. I mean, you could also go for Panzer 3s. Meanwhile, straight assault in here. Strafing run artillery plus the 30 cal there pretty much halts Zyswen's assault there. He goes for a regular Panzer 3, and again, that's fine. Obviously works too, but apparently again thinks just a bunch of Martyrs would provide more firepower to take out these Hellcats, which is definitely the biggest issue right now here for Zyswen. His Tiger tank is almost fixed up. Quickly committed again. Half HVT 2 as well. Not too shabby. Got the commanders here pushing for that field point. Straight into the Bussieri. A bit of better flank this time around, though. Crucial to worth noting here is that he's still blobbing them up there. Means it becomes easier for the 30 cal to stop them. Tiger tank pushing forward outs. Shoots the commandos, misses. Got infantry on the flank here. Hellcats close up on the flank here. We've got the infantry from the frontally. Shots though are... Ooh, Ralph's going to run in front of the Tiger tank here. Decent shot. We got the Bussieri south here, getting unsupported, being rushed down. We got the Panther rushing in. We got strafing guns called in. Need to get the Tiger tank in there now. Bussieri routed, so now there's limited imp support for the Tiger tank, not just the assault grenadiers basically. He would still make it work here with the smoke grenade there. Push forwards, baby. Hellcats are still being repaired somewhat, but because the already one is back in the fight here, and is just giving up pressure. We got the Panther moving in here. Oh, both shots miss on the Sherman. This is great for Ender Pantry rushing force for the Tiger tank. All needs to get in there. Like, he's so hesitant to use the Tiger tank. It really just gives his opponent so much more leverage. Like, even right now, he could just draw up to the anti-tank gun with the Tiger tank and just effectively, like, pop the S-mine launch if he had the munitions, but he doesn't. Almost got the anti-tank gun here. 30 cal. Like, I don't know why he's wasting shots on the 30 cal with his Tiger tank when it's in heavy cover. There you go. Hellcat's going for the Tiger tank here, going for a hard flank Panther nearby there. Actually, 2 Hellcat here, definitely bad news. Need to focus the... oh, the Tiger tank misses. Really bad luck here for Zyswen. Got the assault gunners moving about here. Honestly, it would make more sense to just grab the anti-tank and try to find to the rear here of Ender's stuff. Meanwhile, Tiger tank here. Great shot on the Sherman. Just
enemy has taken a
Not
victory
enough.
point.
Get us into the action!
Not enough. Commanders the Bassieri blob.
50 points remain. We must hold.
We got 48 points left here for Zyswen. TIE tanks being pushed into it. Knees being ripped apart as the court repairing the Hellcats here, almost getting one wiped out. Sultan is standing about here, routed by the commanders again. Just not a great situation here being committed by Zyswen at this point. I suppose we could also just start chucking out some Avengers to back up the Tiger tank. And quickly weaving in the fourth here with the Hellcats. Almost got a Hellcat here. And there you go, the Hellcats with a high rate of fire just knock out the Tiger tank. South here, Bassieri moving in, wiping out the commanders in a brutal exchange of fire. Not. Oh, he ignores the. Oh, there you go, they finished off the survivor. At this point, the problem is just for Zyswen. Well, great, but there's a Sherman, there's a lot of infantry still about. He's running out of victory points. And his Tiger tank is toast. But this ends up being a glorious win here for freedom and democracy for America.
Enemy forces have taken our territory.
Bit of time board here, but not enough. Not enough. So we stop here. GG, game over. A loss for Zyswen, a victory for Ender, a victory for freedom and democracy. Again, overall strong start, certainly showing the power of the early Bassieri openings, but I would say this was sort of a highlight, just the, you know, the importance of like having more stuff than just like one tank at a time. Like he just tried to play this like, you know, he was playing the Oberkommando Western companies too, like just relying on a single tank and some calling infantry like carry his way, in a sense like he's using the like Panzerfusilier. But the problem is you can't really get away with that in companies, especially not against opponent like, you know, some actual good amount of like elite infantry like the SSF commandos. So that sort of kind of left, you know, at several times sides from these massive gaps. He was trying to like just push for the next big thing, like first the Panzer III, and he actually made that work, but the problem was, and then went from the Panzer III to the Tiger tank. That was just simply a gap too big for him to cross. Eastern Platoon then went for rapid advance as well. And that just basically meant he lost too much tempo, too much momentum. And so by the time he has a Tiger tank, got his opponent a Sherman and a Hellcat, and then shortly after another Hellcat, at which point the manpower bleeding inflicted on, you know, him on Zyswen combined with the elements just meant like he just really didn't have a lot there. So again, I think the Tiger tank is quite good, but you just can't just chuck it into like a void there or like a sea of enemy tanks. You just expect to win, and particularly sort of, you know, realize what you're doing and just bring in a lot of tank destroyers. So strategically here, that's kind of think where things went wrong for Zyswen. Tactically, I think he did very well early on, but just strategically couldn't quite connect the dots. As for Ender, again, I'm a bit surprised the lack of BARs at any point in time, and he certainly got lucky that Zyswen didn't have any Achterards, but overall I'd say he did fairly well. He read the situation correctly once I think sort of things became very clear to him, went for the Hellcats, at which point Zyswen's strategy really went southwards. So, hope you enjoyed this match, I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment. You can also donate or pledge on Patreon via the link in the video description. Or the comment, yeah, you have the video description in the comments, you can use the code STUKFG, then alongside the link there to buy companies if you haven't already, to support the Propagandacaster that way, if you're sort of interested in buying the game, that is. So thank you all for joining in, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.